you know, this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And all, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face.
I mean, a lot of it, really, truly.
Yeah.
That is a way
My secret is making the wrong choices, but committing completely.
No, I don't think you have. My favorite movie, and I love many of them, is Cable.
Trump is toast.
I like that one. That's
Trump is toast. Yeah. Yeah, man.
And so you just kind of digest the news of the day.
It's an affirmation. Working, not working. Oh, they got you coming and going, man.
Jim Carrey has just dropped a bombshell on Trump, and no, it's not another one of his hilarious impersonations. The man who's made us laugh with his rubbery face and wild antics is now using his platform for something much more serious. What's the big news? Well, Jim just called the former president a rabid dog, and that's only the beginning, folks. Yep, you heard that right. Jim Carrey, America's favorite comedic mastermind, is turning the tables on the orange-faced former president. But it doesn't stop there. Carrey's got a whole arsenal of zingers ready to bite. No pun intended. His commentary isn't just about throwing shade for fun. It's a serious critique of how Trump has treated America.
These really negative forces like the Steve Bannons of the world are convincing us that we're separatists. You can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're different. It doesn't mean, you know, the trouble with what's happening right now is these.
So why compare Trump to a rabid dog? Well, according to Carrey, it's because Trump has been treating the nation like a chew toy, mangling its dignity and tearing it apart piece by piece. Carrey's not the only one who thinks this. Let's be honest, the country's been looking a little worse for wear. It's like someone let a hyperactive puppy loose in a toy store. Chaos everywhere. Jim's not just barking out insults, though. He's got legitimate concerns. When Jim Carrey speaks, people listen, and right now he's biting into Trump's leadership style with all the ferocity of, well, a rabid dog. He believes Trump's been lying to the American public in ways that are as dangerous as they are absurd. I mean, Carrey's got a point. When you're dealing with a man who can twist the truth more than a pretzel, it's hard not to feel like the country is caught in a never-ending circus of lies and nonsense.
About what's going on right now. There are generations growing up right now who are learning to lie. That lying is okay. That we are parentless. You know? We are babysat by the television. We're taught how to think by the television. That's the dangerous time.
It's not all fun and games for Carrey either. He's not just cracking jokes. He's worried. He's genuinely concerned about what Trump's reign has done to this country. He thinks we're like an old tennis ball, worn out, torn up, and no longer recognizable as what we once were. The man's clearly feeling the weight of it all, and it's not just an opinion. It's an urgent call for us to pay attention. But Carrey's not done yet. He also thinks Trump's trying to chew off more than he can handle. Ever seen a chihuahua try to eat a steak? It's cute at first, but then you start to worry about whether it'll choke. Well, Carrey's worried Trump's in way over his head, and the consequences are starting to show. It's like watching someone try to juggle chainsaws. At some point, it's not funny anymore, it's just dangerous.
To relieve the stress, you know what I mean? It's a stress reliever.
And here we have...
That's Space Force.
That's the Space Force, yeah.
That's the beginning of Space Force.
I mean, you try and you try and you give it all. You give it all to her.
And speaking of danger, Carrey's got another comparison. The White House turning into the doghouse. Yes, you read that right. Carrey's saying the Oval Office has turned into a kennel, with Trump running around like an unruly puppy, chasing his tail, causing chaos, and leaving the rest of us just trying to figure out what's going on. Instead of leading, Trump's spinning in circles, and Carrey's not afraid to call it out. But here's the kicker. Carrey's not just calling Trump a rabid dog because it sounds funny. No. He's using the dog comparison as a way to criticize Trump's total disregard for what America needs. He's saying the president has been marking his territory on the Constitution and burying common sense in the backyard. It's harsh, but it's got a point. Now, before you think this is just another Hollywood celebrity rant, let's take a step back. Carrey isn't just spouting off because he feels like it. He's using humor and his artistic talents to spark a conversation about politics and division in America. And let's face it, whether you love him or hate him, Carrey has a way of making us see things from a new perspective. His paintings, well, they're not exactly flattering. In fact, Carrey's political art is stirring up a storm. From depicting Trump as a wicked witch to portraying him as a piece of burnt toast, Carrey's artwork is making waves. Oh, and in one of his more bizarre creations, he's got Trump hanging out with flying monkeys. It's like the Wizard of Oz meets The Apprentice. And trust me, it's not pretty. These paintings aren't just whimsical interpretations, they're sharp critiques of Trump's leadership. Carrey isn't pulling punches, he's using his brush like a sledgehammer. Of course, not everyone's a fan of Carrey's artistic endeavors. Some see them as brilliant satire, a much-needed critique of today's political landscape. They praise him for using his platform to speak truth to power, while others think he's just being mean-spirited, like a high school bully with a paintbrush. But regardless of where you stand, one thing's for sure. His art is getting more attention than some of his recent movies. And let's face it, when was the last time you saw a Jim Carrey flick in theaters? I'm guessing it was Sonic the Hedgehog, but his art? It's everywhere. It's like Carrey has suddenly become the Picasso of political commentary. But let's not stop there. Jim Carrey isn't just stopping at his artwork. Oh no, he's speaking out. During an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher, Carrey revealed his frustrations about the current state of American politics. He described it as a carpet bombing of outrage. And folks, if that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. He's not laughing anymore. He's calling out the toxic nature of Trump's presidency with all the seriousness of a man who's seen enough. And here's where it gets really interesting. Carrey's saying that Trump's lies are affecting an entire generation. He's worried that kids are growing up thinking that lying is totally okay. Can you believe it? From liar, liar to this. A nation of mini-Trumps in the making? It's a pretty grim thought, but it's one that Carrey seems determined to highlight. But it doesn't end there. Carrey believes that Trump's behavior screams narcissism. He's diagnosing him with a personality disorder from a distance. And let's be real, it's not all that far-fetched when you take a look at Trump's actions. Carrey's painting a picture of the president as someone who's so out of touch with reality that he's turning the country into a game of Twister. Only instead of choosing colors, we're just trying to figure out what the truth even is. Jim Carrey's been making waves in Hollywood for decades. But this is something else. He's using his comedy chops and his art to push us into deeper thought about where we're heading as a country. He's asking, can we come together, or are we doomed to be divided by our political jerseys? Can laughter be the bridge we need to heal the divide, or is it just another distraction? But here's the thing. Carrey's not just making jokes. He's talking about unity in a way that's more than just lip service. He's calling out the polarization and suggesting that maybe, just maybe, we're all more alike than we think. In a world where Democrats and Republicans can barely agree on pizza toppings, Carrey's throwing out a message that might just resonate. Maybe we need to laugh together before we can work together. So, is Carrey a comedic crusader for unity, or is this just another case of a celebrity thinking they know better than the rest of us? Let's talk about it. What do you think? Should Jim Carrey stick to making us laugh, or should we take him seriously when he turns his comedic genius toward politics? It's time to sound off, folks, because the rubber-faced funny man has entered the political arena, and he's not backing down.